And I think the most vivid memories are going to fall into three categories. First, and maybe most importantly, are the memories you have of the relationships you built. Memories of your teammates, relationships with your coaches. I still talk to my high school football coach on a regular basis. And the last time he coached me was 50 years ago. He and I have had a relationship for 55 years. And you guys from VSS, I'm not going to be around 50 years from now, so don't think about it.
You see the hospital.
One of my best friends on Facebook, other than my wife, is one of my high school football teammates.
That was good.
Yeah.
And I remember a number of the big plays he made in some of the games we played in high school. But what I remember more were the hours we spent on the practice field. The times he knocked me down, or the times he praised me for a good block. When I get together with my former teammates, we joke about the nicknames we were called when we played together. And we shed a tear for some of them that are no longer with us. Your second set of memories will be the close games you played that you won or lost. You will probably recall the emotions you felt as the final seconds were ticking down, or when your teammate made the play that clinched the win, or maybe missed the shot that sealed your doom. You'll remember hugging your teammates, whether you won or lost, and you're never going to forget those emotions. I can still see the ball going through the uprights and putting our team ahead 21-20 in a game that we trailed 20-0 going into the fourth quarter. I can still feel the exhilaration I felt catching that other runner at the finish line when I used to run the 440 in high school. That's a quarter mile. They don't do that anymore. The emotions you generated at those moments will stay with you for the rest of your life. Sure, you're going to remember the big victories, and hopefully you're going to forget the times you lost by 20 points. But it's those situations where you had to draw upon something deep inside you to pull the victory out, to overcome some adversity that will stick with you for a lifetime. In reading through your nominations, I know that a lot of you have faced adversity. You've had to come back from injury, or play through injury, or you've had to play when one of your teammates couldn't play, and you had to make up for what that teammate provided. And you know, all of you came through it, and you're better prepared for life because of it. A few years ago, before the football program at VSS started to click, we made a trip to Kamloops to play West Side. Things didn't go real well for us in the first half. That game, we went in to the half trailing 36-0. To make matters worse, early in the third quarter, our quarterback got a concussion and had to come out of the game. So our backup quarterback went in, and he'd only played a few downs all year long. So basically, it looked like it was time to quit. But somebody forgot to tell the backup quarterback. He rallied the team. We started to get some breaks. Things started going our way. When the final whistle blew, we had the ball and we were driving for the tying score. We lost that game 36-30. But I told the team afterwards that to never, ever forget what they had done. It's so easy to give up and get down when things appear hopeless. There's an old saying, it ain't over till it's over. The third category of memories will be those that taught you a lesson. Mel talked a lot about that in her speech. You're going to remember those situations because they're going to stick with you for the rest of your life. Most of those lessons will be the foundation of your beliefs. Your beliefs in what you can do, your beliefs in what's possible, your beliefs in your capabilities, what motivates you, what motivates others, and what demotivates you. Lessons you've learned about how much your attitude and your teammates' attitude affects your performance. When I was playing football in grade 9 in Dallas, Texas, we started our season with high hopes. We had a good team. There were 4 of us coming back from the previous year, and we felt like we had a good chance of winning the city championship. But we lost our first game. It was an exhibition game, so maybe that wasn't that bad. We lost 29-20. And then we tied our second game. Now I remember the Monday afterwards, after that second game, I was out on the field warming up with some of my teammates, and the head coach walked onto the field. And he had one of the other players call me over towards him. So I went over to talk to him. After all, he's a head coach. And he started telling me, he said, Keith, he says, you know, we're really, really disappointed in how the team's been performing for the first couple of games. He says, you know, team hasn't been playing up to their expectations, to their potential, and they've really been letting us down. He said, in a few minutes we're going to get the team together, and we're going to tell them how disappointed we are, and how upset we are with them, and how much harder they're going to have to work in order to salvage the season. He said, but I just want to tell you that what I'm going to tell them doesn't apply to you. You've exceeded our expectations. You've gone far beyond what we thought we were going to get out of you this year. And so when we say those words, we're not talking to you. So I left the coach and I started heading back towards my teammates. And the adrenaline that was flowing through my body was unbelievable. You know, I probably could have done an Ironman at that time now. And the closer I got to my teammates, I started sprinting. And when I got close to them, I had so much adrenaline in me, I was running in place. And then I got down and I started doing push-ups. And that was one thing of and by itself, what those comments did as far as motivating me. But the most interesting thing was what one of my teammates said next. He said, boy, he must have really chewed you out. And that stuck with me all this time, because I realized that you don't have to chew somebody out to motivate them. I don't know that I've ever been so motivated before. And over my career and over my life, when comments like that have come that way, I've had a similar rush. And I know it's not just me. That season taught me a lot more lessons as well. We went on and we won our next game, but then we lost our 4th game in the Cotton Bowl. Back then they let high school and junior high teams play in the Cotton Bowl during state fair. So it was quite a kick, you know. Got maybe 1,000 people in the stands in the stadium that seats 60,000. We lost that game, and after that game, the coach got us all together. And I can't remember exactly what he said, but I do remember how he made us feel. We went on and we won our next 5 games, and some of them very decidedly. The last game of the season, we knew we couldn't make it to the city championship because we had 1 loss and 1 tie, and the team we were playing was undefeated. We defeated them 22-6, and they went on and won the city championship that year. This weekend, when everyone was talking about Muhammad Ali, someone repeated a quote of Muhammad's. He said, everybody suffers a loss. It's those who overcome loss and make success of themselves. That's real. That's something. We didn't win many games when I was in high school. I attended a brand new school, and played on the first teams that school ever had. We did win 3 games my senior year. And interesting enough, although we were a weak team, we did not defeat the 3 weakest teams in the city. 2 of the teams that we defeated that year went on to the playoffs. And I thought years later, what was it in common? Why did we beat those 3 teams? And well, they happened to be the 3 teams we disliked the most. The last game of the season, we did lose to the worst team in the city. We lost 32-0. And what I learned from that season is that you can accomplish anything in life if you want it badly enough. And if you don't care, watch out, because someone will come along that wants it more than you do. I know that what some of you are thinking, that's pretty profound stuff. Did you figure all that out in high school? To be honest with you, I didn't. It was years after I left the playing field that some of the lessons started to sink in. When I started to face bigger challenges in life and I started drawing upon some of the memories of participating in sports, and I started to figure things out. I then started to apply the lessons I learned to challenges I was facing in business and in life. A few weeks ago, I learned that one of my college teammates was going to be inducted into the Hall of Honor at our alma mater. I had not talked or seen Mark in probably 20 years. Mark was a defensive tackle, an All-American defensive tackle, 6'3", 270 pounds, and I had the pleasure of playing across him every day in practice. So I decided I was going to call him up and congratulate him. When I finally got a hold of him, my first words were, "Well, it's about time someone recognized you for your accomplishments." And of course, his first words were, "Who was this?" He didn't recognize my Canadian accent. Once I told him who it was, we talked for the next 45 minutes. We relived a lot of football games. We talked about our teammates. He was amazed that I remembered the best game that he ever played and other things about him. And you know what? I had a smile on my face probably for the next 3 days. And I know Mark did too. He told me he was even going to put my number into his speed dial. Hold on to your memories. Never let go of the relationships that you build. Remember that there's more in you when the going gets tough and you feel like quitting. And realize that the lessons you learn on the court, on the field, and running around the track are making you stronger and preparing you for life. Thank you for the opportunity.